I have such exciting news today. I'm Annemieke. I'm the VP of Partner Success at Mentor Collective. I'm also a huge data geek, which is why I'm so thrilled to be talking about a brand new feature that we are now offering to our Mentor Collective partners. We already help our partners identify a sense of belonging, academic self-efficacy through self-assessment surveys, which has been such a meaningful way to do both formative and summative assessment about the impact of mentorship on student success. Because these non-cognitive insights were so meaningful, our partners have been telling us just how transformative it would be to have real-time actionable access to these results. Today, I have our in-house assessment expert, Dr. Shannon LaCount, here with me to talk a little bit more about why this was such a priority for Mentor Collective in 2023. So Shannon, tell us a little bit about why it's important to assess sense of belonging and academic self-efficacy on campus.
Things like non-cognitive elements like sense of belonging and academic self-efficacy help us understand how students are feeling in the moment. They're not a measure of a deficit in the student or an abundance in the student. That it is the students telling campus, this is how I'm feeling right now. This is where I'm confident, or this is where I could use some help. And all those services that exist on campus are there to intervene.
What are some of the things that we have been learning from analyzing these responses over so many years?
I mean, the shortest and sweetest answer is that students are responding to these surveys, right? There's something about the peer relationship that makes them feel comfortable enough to say, hey, I don't feel like I belong, or hey, I am struggling a little bit in feeling confident about my classes, or the opposite. I feel great. Thank you for giving me a peer and a friend and someone to count on. And it's good to know where students are because this changes over time.
Why do you think that higher education is so focused on these concepts of sense of belonging and academic self-efficacy right now?
We are focused on it right now, but it's always been a thing. I want to be clear about that. I personally first heard about sense of belonging from Dr. Martin Brokenleg, who is a Native American researcher and who talks about sense of belonging as identifying significance within a community. Terrell Strayhorn has talked about sense of belonging in bridge programs and initiatives and how it can change over time. And there's new research out in books edited by Aaron Bentram and Gavin Henning. There's all kinds of new research. So it's always existed, but it's also something we can continue to learn about. And I think we're at the point where we're all collectively talking about the importance of knowing how students are feeling now.
And knowing, but also doing something about it, right? So
correct.
When we think about acting on these data, not just collecting these data, how should campuses actually be leveraging and acting on this information?
I mean, the generic version of saying it is, remember, it's not about a deficit or something that's wrong with the student or an abundance in the student, but it's how they're feeling. And we spend all these time on campus building up initiatives and programs and things that are there to support the student, but we need to know about it. Specifically with Mentor Collective, the way we measure it through self-assessment and then reveal the data back to campus is both in aggregate. So it's an average of the cohort and how they're feeling. And that's a collective intervention. Hey, this time of year, because we measure each year at this time of year, students have a lower, overall, it's a lower feeling. Let's do something about it. But we also reveal those data individually so that if there are 5 students who are struggling in a specific area, we can intervene with those 5 students without having to cast a huge wide net and do the same intervention for everybody. We can know and act on those individual needs as well.
And I think that's exactly what folks on campus are telling us is they're poised to help students. They're ready to help students. They just need to know what students need exactly when they need it because of all the wonderful resources. So I'm so excited about our partners being able to connect these students in need with the resources they have. Thank you, Shannon, so much for joining us and sharing us a bit about your perspective on these incredibly meaningful data.
Thanks for the chat. I love it.